Oh man, that's Bill.
That's weird.
He's talking about settling people as crooks. What we got today on tap, Gibson?
Let's go with the rookies.
The rookies. Well, actually, I don't know if I want to talk about the rookies, Gibson.
Okay.
We'll talk about them in this segment right here with the awards.
Okay.
We're gonna break down the NBA awards. Since the season is over, I'm gonna jump right to the playoffs. So have some meaningless games, then jump right to the playoffs. We're gonna talk about the awards. First, we're gonna start with the MVP of the league. Gibson, who do you think should be the MVP of the NBA?
I don't think they need to do that this year. I don't know who the MVP is. We didn't play a season. We didn't even play. We barely played half a season.
No, we played over 60 games.
And then 2 months.
You played over 60 games.
2 months we've been null and void. I don't even remember who was doing what.
Jeez.
I don't want to pick an MVP player. I don't want to pick the best defensive player, the sixth man. Blah. I don't want to do all that stuff because it's a wash, man. We didn't do nothing.
You played over 60 games. What are you talking about, dude?
And basketball played too many games anyway. It's too many games.
Gibson, teams only had 17 games left out of an 82 game season. Gibson, come on, man.
I done forgot who did what. I don't even care about it now. I don't even want them to come back and go straight to the playoffs.
Well, I'm gonna give my pick and my rundown of the MVP.
Who?
Man, you got.
I know who's gonna win it.
You got Antetokounmpo, you got LeBron, you got James Harden, you got Luka, you got Chris Paul.
Chris Paul not in the running.
I understand. You only got two guys that's really gonna be formidable. You got
Okay,
LeBron James and Antetokounmpo. They're both number one in their respective leagues. The Lakers are 2 games behind Antetokounmpo, and for me, I'm going with Giannis, back-to-back MVP champion. His team is number 1 in the West, in the East, number 1 in the West, also number 1 in the NBA, and the Greek Freak is just putting up crazy numbers: 20 I think 27 plus, 11 rebounds plus, 3.5 rebounds plus. And he's Defensive Player of the Year candidate. So, for me, with those numbers, and he doesn't have a person like Anthony Davis to help him. He doesn't have a real good Batman. He has a Batman, which is they do it by committee. If you want to say Middleton is his Batman, then fine. I mean, cool, but he's definitely not on the same category as an AD. AD is a top 15 player in the NBA, and Middleton is maybe a top 40 player in the NBA, top 30 player in the NBA. So for me, you got to go with Antetokounmpo, because you take Antetokounmpo off that team, they're going to be probably out of the playoffs for me.
I got no beef with that. If I was going to challenge that, I probably would go with my boy, Joel LLB.
Yeah, you can tell he don't want to do this. Let's go. That's sick. That's just horrible. Anyway, let's go to Rookie of the Year, man. Rookie of the Year.
My boy.
Rookie of the Year gives you got Zion Williamson, you got John Morant, you got Kendrick Nunn, you got Brandon Clark or Terrence Davis in those categories. Who you going with, Gibson?
Man, to me, it's only 2 guys on the list, and that's Zion and Morant.
That's a fact. And then for me, it's only 1 guy on the list. You gotta
Man. I
don't say nothing crazy.
I don't really care
stop.
that much.
I'll stop.
I mean,
I'll
Zion,
stop.
I don't know about Zion. I mean, he's a really nice ball player. Got no beef with him. You know, he can ball, no doubt. But, man, this dude, John Morant, he is nice. Smooth.
And he played all the games.
Oh, my goodness. He's just glossy, man. I don't even understand why the NBA is not talking more about him. Everything is Zion. But if you go go watch a highlight, a YouTube highlight on this dude, Ja Morant. You got to look at this guy and say, hey man, I don't know.
He's special.
This guy, hey man, I don't even know what to say. I'll tell you what to do. Go look at it for yourself. Type in Ja Morant and just push play and sit back. And you comment down below and you tell me what you thinking. Because this is ridiculous, man. This guy, in my opinion, I just said a while ago I don't want to do it, but I'm gonna do it now. This guy needs to be Rookie of the Year.
I'm in agreement with that. John Morant is amazing. He's played every single game. He's got his team. They got rid of Mike Conley Jr. They needed to. And they brought in John Morant, and they didn't miss a step.
No,
they
not. Oh yeah, well,
they still made the playoffs. They're in the 8th seed right now, which nobody would have predicted the Grizzlies to be in the 8th seed over Dame, over Portland. So hey, I'm going with John Morant, and of course Zion. He didn't even play. He played half the season, maybe 20 games. Man, he's electrifying. But John Morant, hands down, is amazing. But let me give credence to Kendrick Nunn, because undrafted rookie coming in, doing his thing. He was really good this year, too. I'll have him number 2 on my rookie voting. And I'm going to keep pushing like that, man. Next up.
Undrafted.
Let's go with Coach of the Year. Coach is calling people soft. Who you got, Gibson? We got in for the running. We got Nick Nurse from the Toronto Raptors. We got Billy Donovan from the OKC Thunder. We got Mike Budenholzer from the Milwaukee Bucks. We got Taylor Jenkins from we got Taylor Jenkins from the Grizzlies. No. And we got Eric Spoelstra from Miami.
No, man. Coach of the Year, I'm going with Taylor Jenkins. Why? Because he got Memphis into the playoffs. Got rid of the best point guard in the league. I thought that was a mistake, but they replaced him with the new and up-and-coming point guard in the league, Zion Morant. This guy did a phenomenal job coaching Memphis. They in the playoffs. It was never expected. These other guys, they're going to make the playoffs anyway just because they got the name. But Memphis, that coach, Jenkins, he's the coach of the year. Hands down.
Not only did he he got rid of Conley, he got rid of Marc Gasol, a big man, and they replaced him with Johnson, with the shooter. I forget what his name, Junior. It'll come back to me, but that was a good pick. I can respect that. But for me, I'm going with the Toronto Raptors and Nick Nurse.
How you gonna go with them? And they was in the finals last year.
And they best player left. They had nobody to pick up the slack, and they're still second best in the NBA. They're still killing it. Nick Nurse has put together a program over there that's pretty good, man. If you can get rid of a player like a Kawhi stature, one of the top 3, top 5 players in the NBA, and you can still push, for me, that's pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. But of course, it's hard. It's hard not to say Billy Donovan, because I really want to say Billy Donovan. And if you turn off the camera, turn it back on, I probably would say Billy Donovan with the Chris Paul. I never expect him to be 5. You know what? I am going with Nick Nurse. I am going with Billy Donovan.
What?
OKC.
How you gonna switch up that midstream?
I have to. I'm thinking about it now, and I have to.
You got to dance with the girl you brought, man.
Nah, I'm switching. Come here, Donovan. Come dance with me, Donovan. Donovan is, if you go look at the OKC Thunder, what they're doing with that 3-guard lineup over there, man, with Chris Paul, I got to give Chris Paul his flowers now. I'm sorry. If you really look into it, I really believe Billy Donovan did a hell of a job. They GM did a hell of a job this year, and I got to give it to Billy Donovan. I'm sorry. I got to, man. Even though Nick Nurse is probably the favorite. Okay, 6th Man of the Year award, Gibson. Who you got? Montrezl Harrell, Lou Will, Dennis Schroeder, Derrick Rose, or George Hill?
I'm going with George Hill.
George Hill.
George Hill.
Okay, George Hill.
From Milwaukee.
Wow.
When he come in off the bench, he putting in 11 points.
Yeah.
You're not falling off when they rest a guy.
He scored more than 11 points.
I'm just saying.
But I understand what you're saying. He's number one 3-point shooter in the league.
They not falling back when they bring in the second tier.
I understand that.
See, and you know they're not falling back because it's Milwaukee, and Milwaukee's going to win the NBA championship this year. So I got no problem with my boy George Hill.
George Hill, man.
George Hill could be a starter on some other team.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's been starters. He got traded for Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
And Popovich hated that trade. He didn't hate it, but he was uneasy about the trade. But it worked out for them. George Hill being the number 1 sniper in the NBA, he's good.
Yeah.
If y'all want to go visit him, man, he got a big old 450 acre ranch up there in Texas. Up here, got all kind of safari wildlife from zebras to alligators. All right, well, anyway, for me, I'm gonna go with Dennis Schroeder. I looked into his numbers, averaging 19 coming off the bench. For me, he was never a real point guard anyway, a real starting point guard in the NBA with the Hawks. He just had to fill that role. And coming off the bench, man, when we got him, Chris Paul, and Alexander in the game, man, they're a lethal weapon. As far as the Clippers, too, man, Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell. Montrezl Harrell is amazing. Lou Williams amazing, but I just like this little guy Schroeder, man. He probably won't win, but just to see him up there in consideration, man, to see he keeps on working, I like this guy. We have the most improved player of the NBA, Gibson. Who you got? Brandon Ingram, Bam Adebayo, Luka Doncic, Donovan Graham, Pascal Siakam.
You got to go with Luka. Luka's the most improved player. I don't know what you're doing. What you looking for? You lost something?
No, I'm good.
You got to go with Luka from the Dallas Mavericks. Why? Because last year he was nobody. This year he's everything to the Dallas Mavericks. He's the heartbeat of the Dallas Mavericks. The heartbeat. He's the heartbeat of the Dallas Mavericks, and he's difficult to deal with. You got to guard this guy. He can shoot, he can pass, he can dribble. He's everything. He was triple doubling for 30 games. Do you remember that? I know the season was a long time ago, but he was triple doubling. Triple doubling.
I got no disrespect for Luka, man.
But you're looking around like
I'm looking around because people don't know Luka, man. I've been knowing Luka for.
But they fixing to know him now because that's why he's the most improved player.
Well, I'm just saying, he's most improved players to people that don't know who Luka is. I've been watching Luka for about 6 years now. He got MVP overseas. He won championship. He's been this good. He's been this good, people.
He don't play tag. He been it.
Yeah, he been it, bro. He been this good. That's why I say, I mean, it's hard for me to say he's been improved because he's been this good. So I can understand it, Gibson. For me, I'm going to go with Bam Adebayo over there with the Heat.
Okay.
I didn't know who he was last year, and this year he's amazing. He's triple-doubling it. He's really good, man, and he's holding down the fort over there for the Miami Heat. Him and Jimmy Butler and those Kendrick Nunns and those Robinson the Thirds and whoever you want over there. They got a real good team over there, and I like them guys, so I'm going to go with Adebayo. Last but not least, Gibson, Defensive Player of the Year candidates, Rudy Gobert, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Anthony Davis, and Patrick Beverly.
Oh, man. I don't know. I almost went with Rudy.
Until he shut down the NBA.
Rudy is the reason why sports is not. I almost went with Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis, I don't know about Anthony Davis.
Best player on the Lakers.
Patrick Beverly has always been a really good defensive player. He get on the best guy every game. You know, he's the one that I know that's doing it all the time. So I'm gonna go with Patrick Beverly.
Patrick Beverly, he'll be the first since Gary Payton to win that award. That'd be that short guy, that point guard. That would be crazy.
Gary Payton was 6'4".
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. He's shorter than Gary Payton. They got Giannis up here. That's crazy. For me, man, I love Anthony Davis, man. His skill set is amazing to me. Both ends of the floor, he's amazing. And the LeBron of them, they're playing defense this year because of Anthony Davis. He's their anchor. He's amazing, man. I would definitely have to go with Anthony Davis. They're number one in the West for a reason. 2 games behind overall, man. So
you got a stacked team. You can always be number one. You got a stacked team.
A Defensive Player of the Year, Anthony Davis.